Well, let's turn to Nehemiah chapter 3. Nehemiah chapter 3. And I'm not going to read the whole chapter to you, and when we read some of the verses, you'll see why. And I'll just go ahead and make a confession to you. Nehemiah chapter 3 is one of those chapters in the Bible that you might normally skim, speed read. There are parts of the scripture that are compelling, they are deep, they are so rich with truth, and we can't escape the gravity of them that we just could spend days and weeks looking at one passage and one chapter and just soaking it all in. And then there's chapters like Nehemiah chapter 3 that you don't just have this blessing of a list of names, but Nehemiah in this chapter adds not just the names of the people who were doing the work, but the specific area in which they worked, because that really means something to you. You know about all these gates and valleys and parts of the city that were being rebuilt. And as I continue my confession even now, I had not planned to give Nehemiah chapter 3 its own sermon. If you look at my plan, which Janet and Donette and maybe a couple other people have seen, Nehemiah 3 and 4 were meshed together in one sermon, and the main point was in chapter 4, and 3 just sort of served as a backdrop, an introductory section to what comes next. But the more time that I spent in this chapter this week, the more it became clear to me that I think there are some things that are useful to us and helpful and can build up the church, at least some observations that need to be made. You see, just to recap, since we've missed a couple of weeks for Easter, in Nehemiah chapter 1, you've got this man who